Yo, what's going on? This is video number 2 in the series of how I began my journey from an automotive technician to a mobile grease monkey. So again, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Oscar, or Oscar, as I represent myself out here in San Diego, and I'm a mobile mechanic. I used to work at little independent shops and dealerships, and then I ended up opening up my own business. It's pretty badass. It's cool, you know, being able to prospect for your new customers, prospect for your future, prospect for what it is that you're looking for in your life. So if that's something that you're interested in, check it out. Check out the video. I think you'd really appreciate it. So if you guys remember, I did my formal, so to say, education at UTI out in Rancho Cucamonga. And like I mentioned before, it's a good school, good teachers. The program's okay. I could have gone to a community college like a Cuyamaca right here in San Diego and took the Ford Asset program for virtually $0. You know, it would have been smarter. However, it would have took longer to get to where I was at. But at the end of the day, you know, do you want a student loan or not? So that's up to you. You make the decision. There's a lot of people at UTI that they take it for granted. You know, they kind of go in there just to fuck around and have a good time and party. And even though they're partying with a bunch of dudes, because that's all there is, there's probably like 3 girls out of like 10,000 boys. You know what I mean? So it's not really a party school. And never mind. So anyways, when I was taking the regular, so to say, the regular course offered by UTI, the automotive technology course, they kind of just give you the basics, the fundamentals to understand brakes, electronics, or electrical, suspension, air conditioning, transmission, engine repair, etc. And it's a cool course. I mean, it's definitely an eye-opener. You can learn a lot from it. So then after that, if you choose to do an elective, which I did too, I did the SMOG program, and I also did the Ford Ford FACT program. So I did the SMOG, got my SMOG license, and then I went over to the Ford side. And on the Ford side, it was really cool, you know, because they're a lot more in depth and more precise in their speech when it comes to diagnostics and actually learning something that you can apply in the real world. And I will say that program did give me the fundamentals, right? The fundamentals to take my career to the next level when I got to the dealership. It really, honestly, it really made me stand out, you know, versus somebody who just did the automotive program and didn't take any of the manufacturer training. It really made me stand out because there were people that were lube technicians at the dealership where I was at that were waiting to move up and rank up, but the fact that they didn't have any certifications really put them down. The fact that I had them, it was able to eject me into the top position to move up quicker up in the ranks. I think it took me 3 to 6 months to move up. So, whereas it was taking, on average, most of the other technicians, 2 years to move up. I did it in 3 to 6 months. It was quite a journey. So, at the Ford program in Rancho Cucamonga, they had what was called a job fair, right? So they got in touch with all of the Ford dealerships, most of them in Southern California, some in Northern Cal, some, I think it was one in Nevada and one in Hawaii. Everybody wanted to go to Hawaii, right? Oh, I want to go to Hawaii. I want to be a technician in Hawaii. But if you get fired at a Ford dealership in Hawaii, that's the only Ford dealership on the island, where are you going to work at? So, nevertheless, I had booked 3 appointments. I had booked one with Mossy Ford, I believe it was, out in Pacific Beach area in San Diego. I booked another one with Penske out in La Mesa. And then the last one was in Kearney Pearson Ford out in Claremont Mesa area in San Diego, a little bit central North County. And Penske Ford La Mesa didn't show up. They just didn't want to do it. Mossy Ford actually didn't show up either. The only one that showed up was Kearney Pearson Ford. And that's actually the store that I wanted to work for, because I did a little bit of research on all the companies that I was going to be interviewing with. And I don't know about you, but I think it's very important to understand who you're working for. The type of environment that the employer will be able to provide for you. Is it a positive or is it a negative? Is it an environment of growth or is it an environment of being held back? So I got to meet, I'm going to throw a shout out for his name. His name was Danton Kramer. He was the service manager at the time at Kearney Pearson Ford, and he came up, and me and him chopped it up. We had a good interview, and it wasn't the typical interview, you know. And he told me straight up off the bat, he's like, I'm not here to ask you them stupid ass generic questions. I'm here to get to know who you are. I want to know if you're the type of person that can fit on our team, if you're compatible with us, and if you're going to be a good fit for us, and us for you. So we chopped it up. You know, we had a real genuine conversation. We explained our backgrounds, who he was, who I was, you know, our love for the disassembly of microwaves. And then he asked me this question. I'll never forget it. He goes, so, I do got to ask you one question. How do you work with groups? And I remember I stared at him and I said, you know what? I'm like a wolf. I have the ability to work by myself, and I have the ability to work in a pack. And he just gets this big shit grin eating smile, and then he goes, you know what? And he had long sleeves at the time, and he rolls one of his sleeves back, and he's got this big ass tattoo of a wolf on his forearm. And I was like, oh damn. So, you know, it was interesting. I mean, I don't know, it felt like fate, I guess. So I think it was about 2 weeks later after the interview, he gives me a call and tells me to make an application and to give me a job. That first day was Cinco de Mayo. I actually didn't want to go in because I wanted to go to Old Town and have a couple of beers, but responsibilities triumph over your rights. So I had a responsibility and an obligation to show up and make it happen. So I want to say thank you to Denton for giving me the opportunity to get my foot in the door. I know the competition might have been fierce. I know there's always a lot of people, and I will say he took a big gamble, and I know I made him pull out the few hairs that he had left in his head. But you know what? I appreciate the opportunity, man. It was real cool. So, and that was the day that I got the job. You know, I went home. I was all excited. I told my wife, you know, I had a good ass interview. And then when he had called me, I was like, baby, call me. I'm gonna get the job. So it was nice. It was nice to be able to say that I had when I started this whole thing, I had a goal. I had a vision. And at the time, it was to work for a good dealership. And I remember telling the lady at the admissions department at UTI that I was going to work for a dealership. And she goes, okay, all right. And I made it happen. And I became one of I would say that I was a very damn good technician at that dealership. Not just tooting my own horn. But anyways, it was a journey. And that was just one of the little sagas that led to the development of this character today. The enigmatic, the approachable Oscar Cisneros. Alright guys, I'll do another video pretty soon. I'll do it up this week. Be video 3 of my little video series. The next one will be entitled Life at the Dealership. So we'll talk about that, the ups and the downs, and we'll kind of go for like the first day. We'll talk about the first day and the responses that I got from a lot of the people there. So anyways, peace.